This country's love of sport is well documented, but what's not so well known is our collective passion for musicals. Of all the money Australians spend on live entertainment, almost a quarter goes on musical theatre in productions like Wicked and Godspell. Now the creative brain behind those two musicals, Stephen Schwartz, who's won 3 Oscars, 3 Emmys and a Grammy, is in Australia to teach others about the craft. Martin Cullity reports from Hobart.
The name Stephen Schwartz might not be familiar, but his songs and his productions almost certainly are. In a career spanning more than 30 years, he's written hit musicals like Godspell, Pippin, and his latest phenomenon, Wicked. It's played more than 2,000 times on Broadway and is still running in Australia. Musical theatre remains his #1 passion.
When everything is firing on all cylinders, then to me there's nothing more exciting in the whole world.
I look once more, just around the river bend.
But he's also composed songs for some of Disney's most enduring classics.
He's written some of the most beautiful songs, across from film to Broadway and now opera as well. I mean, you know, not many composers can say that they've gone across the board like that.
At the moment, the composer is off-Broadway, way off. He's travelled 16,000 kilometres from the Big Apple to the Apple Isle.
It's so beautiful here, and so I get to not only have the enjoyable experience of these master classes and sort of the excitement of the concerts, but I get to be a tourist.
If you work really hard, maybe someday you can actually get to the wizard himself.
He's giving a series of concerts and workshops as part of Hobart's Festival of Broadway.
Did that really just happen? Have I actually understood?
It was Professor Kevin Purcell, the head of Tasmania's Conservatorium of Music, whose brainstorm it was to bring Stephen Schwartz down under.
Look, if Stephen Schwartz was a golfer, Tiger Woods would definitely have his work cut out for him.
8 groups get to present their ideas and songs to the composer, and they're then reviewed during a theatrical workshop.
The craft of writing musical theatre is extremely complex. I don't think people actually think that it's as hard as it actually is.
The idea is to hear what they're working on and try to sort of suss out what it is it seems that they're trying to accomplish, and then maybe give some thoughts about where they're succeeding, and then how they might perhaps some things to look at that might make things work a little better.
Stephen Schwartz believes it takes certain skills to make a musical, and not all of them can be taught.
I don't think you can help someone develop instinct, but I think you can help someone develop craft and sort of point out what to look for and ways to think about things. But you know, talent and instinct are those are genetic, really. They're inborn.
Drew Lane knows firsthand how tough show business can be. For years, the primary school drama teacher has been trying to get his musical productions into theatres with limited success.
Definitely once in a lifetime. I'm 34, I've been writing musicals for 19 years, and in Australia there really isn't an opportunity like this, or hasn't been an opportunity like this before.
Drew Lane brought his Melbourne-based cast to Hobart for the masterclass and says the feedback was more than worth it.
He was to the point, he was precise, he was encouraging, but he also immediately pinpointed the areas that needed to be developed.
Knowing that the composer is in the room, listening to every line, making sure the notes are right, the words are right, it's really overwhelming but exciting.
Flames are on the hillside, blood is in the stream.
Even though she's been on stage in Australia and in London's West End since her teens, Sylvie Palladino became nervous performing for Stephen Schwartz. She says she's learnt from the experience and believes the education on offer is potentially life-changing.
So the talent we have, sometimes we don't have the opportunity here. So for someone like Stephen to come over and just impart his his education, you know, his encouragement and his wisdom on, you know, how to write and how it all comes together is wonderful for our writers here.
I really enjoy teaching, and I find it a privilege that people actually let me do it and listen to what I have to say.
As for Drew Lane, he thinks he's the one who's privileged, and now, well, he's set himself some new goals.
Ultimately, yes, I'd love to have him on Broadway, but off Broadway, that'll do fine as well.
Thank you. Good night.
Martin Cudahy reporting from Hobart, and good night from us as well. That's the program. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow, but for now, good night.